cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. It's time again.
What up, y'all? You tuned in to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is Music Monday, and I'm your host, Slash. And with me, I got Comedian 96, K Money, Freddie G. Together, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. On Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, and welcome back to another Music Monday. Got another great topic for you today, of course. Before we get rolling, I want to give my condolences. We lost a couple of people in the past couple of days, and I just want to give my condolences to the family. The first person I want to mention is going to be Roberta Flack. Now, she's a Grammy Award winner, Killing Me Softly, the song that Lauryn Hill redone. She died at 88, so Roberta Flack dies at 88. Now, what made her hot, she was hot in the 70s. She had a song that was used. The song was called The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, which was used by Clint Eastwood as a soundtrack. And that kind of helped her, boost off and become the great pianist and artist that she was. So my condolences to the Roberta Flack family and friends. We really are losing a lot of our greats, but of course, as we know, time goes on and death doesn't miss nobody. Another person I want to bring in, and I want to give my condolences out to the whole family. Chris Jasper, which was a member of the Isley Brothers, died at 73 after a battle with cancer. So if you know Chris Jasper, he had a lot to do with writing some of the songs. He was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, of course. He formed a group with Rudolph Isley, Ronald Isley, O'Kelly Isley, and they all lived in Cincinnati apartment complex as the Isleys, and later became an in-law when Elaine married Rudolph. So Chris Jasper and the Isley family, I just want to give my condolences to y'all. Great musicians. A lot of these musicians, we grew up on this music, and like I would say, timeless music is what these people created. So they were the greats. There's another person. Now, this just happened, I think it was 2 days ago maybe. Angie Stone. She's also a Grammy-nominated R&B artist. She died at 63 in a horrible car accident. Now, I was able to view some footage of the accident scene as somebody was passing by, and what happened was she was in a Sprinter van on a highway. You know how you got a two-side going one direction, you got a median, and then you got two lanes going the opposite direction.
Yes.
Well, what happened was an 18-wheeler came from one side. I guess he fell asleep, not sure what caused him to veer off, but he went into the median and into Angie Stone's Sprinter.
Right.
So that Sprinter flipped over 3 times. So I don't think it was a instance to where she even knew it was happening, because if it was nighttime, she wasn't driving, of course. Mm-hmm. I'm sure somebody else was driving, but she was leaving a performance that she had.
Is she the only person that passed away?
Now, don't know if she was the only person that died. I didn't get that far into it, but that's probably something we want to look up. And for our listeners, if you have any information on it, you could drop us a comment. We'll be happy with that. But
I gotta ask another question about that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but it seems like, I had just seen a video with Angie Stone and about them owing her a lot of royalties.
Who's them?
Okay. Well, her companies, I guess her people that she signed with went for music, and they owed her a lot of royalties. Now, I'm just saying, if I'm not mistaken, our own H-Town, one of our H-Town boys died in a car accident.
right,
Girl from Chili TLC died from a car accident.
right.
And now Angie Stone. And all of 3 of them were owed money. I'm just saying.
Right. Well,
It just looks fishy.
a lot of times it is fishy, and when you mention Dino from H-Town. You
Yeah.
know, he was a real close friend of mine. And
Yes.
the way that situation happened kind of had everybody stunned. Like, damn, it was early in the morning when it happened, and he was leaving out of a parking lot, and he had a person in the car with him. Both of them died, but again, it was a car accident, kind of a freak accident, and the people hit him and kept going.
Yeah.
You know, they never found
Never
what
found
happened,
them.
but they were going through some changes with the record label that they were on, because what
Correct.
they were trying to do was get away from where they were and get to an independent status on their own.
Right.
You know, cutting out the
And
middleman.
it seems like every time an artist does that,
Something happens.
Yeah.
Man, out of all four of us, I think I'm the one that probably think the most in regards to conspiracy, and I'm just not feeling that one.
I mean, think about it. You think about Prince, Michael Jackson,
Well, Prince was on.
all these artists.
Prince was on.
They
Warren
die,
Buffett's
right? When they
plane.
try to get their own, their masters, or they're trying to do something independently.
I mean, I see how it look, but again, I'm just not feeling not especially with the Angie Stone one, but
I could be
some
totally,
of the others
again,
maybe.
I could be totally wrong.
Slash, what you say about Prince?
So Prince was on Warren Buffett's plane. If you're familiar with Warren Buffett, he's one of the top 1% of people
Yeah.
that runs the world. Prince was on his plane when he died.
Right.
So we don't know the cause of death. Of course, it's never been released, but stuff like this, you just never know. They were saying because of the pills he was taking, it was quite strong dose because of his hip injuries and stuff like
Right.
that. But I don't know. You know,
And
There's some conflicting stories.
and then
with
Mike.
Prince,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
because I thought he was in the elevator when he died.
well, possibly at his house, but his flight was the last flight was Warren Buffett's plane. Now, my thing is, Prince have a whole setup. Paisley Park, I don't know if y'all knew. Yeah. He got a big building, man, and he doing his thing. I think we covered this before. But on Warren Buffett's plane, meaning he possibly could have ate something. You know, it could have possibly been some sort of poisonous situation or something like that. But I truly, you know, just don't know. And a lot of times it does seem like a conspiracy.
Like I say, all the others maybe.
Right.
I can see the conspiracy theory in the others, but Angie Stone, like Slash said, you know,
I mean, it's
an
just-
18-wheeler,
It's so
Right.
you need
which
to see-
happens often.
Did you see the video of her? Of a lot of people hold some money. A lot.
A lot
Go
of
look
people
at the
what?
video.
The thing about it, to
That's
me,
why I said-
and I'm looking at it the way K Money looking at it. You could possibly have a good idea, but what I'm saying is, it's hard to determine who's in what and how fast you're going from a different side of the street, and you traveling 70 to 75 miles per hour.
I get
you
that.
can't just pick out her car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
have to be a fucking
Yeah.
scientist.
Scientists. That's what, and that's the point I'm making.
So I don't think that was. I'm not gonna look at that as a conspiracy thing. though.
Let me ask you this, Comedian 96. You've traveled before, right?
Right.
From and you know, like,
A lot,
let's go to Louisiana. Let's say we're going to Louisiana. You know, it's some narrow
Oh, yes.
country
It's
roads.
nighttime.
Oh, yes,
and she was
sir.
coming from Mobile, Alabama,
It's nighttime.
Okay, yeah.
going
Okay.
to New Orleans.
But yeah,
You can't determine what car she's in from that distance and that
and you're
speed.
right, because it's Mardi Gras time.
Yeah.
going to New Orleans. You got a point.
So yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, and some of these artists do die in conspiracy theories ways, such as Whitney Houston and her daughter.
And her
We
daughter.
definitely feel like that was a conspiracy type of thing. But you know, you never know how some of this stuff happens. But we lose some, and we win some sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
But now here's where the wins are. I want to talk about ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky actually beat his case. He was found not guilty of shooting
A friend.
his friend,
Yeah.
ASAP Riley. So he beat that charge. Now, had he got charged, he was looking at a lot of time. You know, he'd got a lot of time. But I think what he did in this case, he kept his mouth closed. He let his attorneys talk, and he let his money do whatever he needed to do.
as he should have.
I thought,
you know.
honestly, this whole time I thought that case was over the people dying at his concert 2 years ago. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? That's what I thought this thing was over. That's why I kind of didn't even pay attention. I didn't know he had shot a homeboy.
He had some people die at a concert.
Yeah. The one, what's the concert? Yeah, he had like, whew,
I know Travis Scott.
Yeah,
Travis.
you're not talking about Trap.
Oh no, I'm thinking ASAP Rocky. Lord, I be getting them mixed up. I get them mixed up all the time. I'm sorry.
So to the listeners, let me explain to you who Comedian 96
I'm
is.
sorry, I get them mixed up.
He's just that. He's funny 96 times. Just as much as
96% of the time.
And he may be wrong 95% of the time.
Yes.
You know, but he is who he is, but he had it mixed up with Travis Scott. But no, so since he beat this charge, he's starting to talk now about his album that he wants to drop.
Well, shit, you already know it's good promotion now.
It's definitely good promotion.
Marketing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, now would be the best time for him to release the album. And fans want the album. You know, I want to know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Because he's saying that he's got so much adrenaline and he's got a lot to talk about. He's not giving us a release date because he feels like the fans don't want a release date. They just want to hear some shit, which that's true.
Yeah.
You know, you can't keep talking about it. And it's okay to talk about it or talk up a project just to kind of put some hype behind it. But we want to hear something. You know, you got children from Rihanna. You supposed to be mashing the gas.
You supposed to be on it.
But what he is doing, now, he is a creative director for Ray-Ban. So that's something he got going for him, you know. And I'm guessing he got that from maybe
Deion Sanders.
Rihanna being in, you know, these different products. So that
Makeup.
he probably got a line or a way to get in it from her.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get in there and hold that down, which I respect that.
That's
you know.
smart. That's smart.
It's very smart.
Because there ain't nobody on that really but Deion on the Ray-Ban eyeglass wear. And that's smart.
It's actually, you know, again, it's another form of income. So whatever he's doing to create a new form of income, I think is a wonderful thing to do. But, you know, he's approaching this album with different tactics. He want to take his time to, you know, really kind of sit down and figure out what he's going to talk about. And he say he's challenging himself right now to come up with that album that the fans want to hear. So shout out ASAP Rocky, man. I think you'll do pretty good, man. But you beat that case, so now you got the rest of your life ahead of you, man. You don't have to worry about, you know, sitting in a prison cell or even paying fees.
Yeah, he can focus on his family and his career.
Yeah, you know, you can focus on something real. So he say he feels so lucky to even be talking about this right now, you know, which I understand because even with him trying to launch this Ray-Ban thing, he still had this case going on. So, you know, a lot of stuff you worrying about succeeding.
And they could have backed out on him.
They could have backed out on him.
They did.
But had he lost that case, they would have.
They would have backed out. Definitely.
And it would have been no reason for them to stay in there because he'd have been, there's no way he could push the product.
Yep.
You know, so shout out ASAP Rocky, man. I think you're doing the right thing. You know, I think it's really wonderful, man, and we want to hear something from you. You know, I know you got a little bit of talent in you, man. Let's put it out there for the fans to hear that, and it's a win for you. Now, here's a win for all of us, especially us at this age. Y'all remember Sly and the Family Stone?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Funktified. Now, he was the least talked about artist from those days, but he was the most funky. If you ever listen to his stuff, if you want me to stay, I'll be around the way. Hey, man. The dude had jams, man, and I think what he was doing was just being himself. He had heartfelt songs that you could put yourself in the, you know, same place and time with him back then. And of course he had the afro going, the big hats, you know, the fly clothes, you know, the colorful leather jackets.
Now you say he was the funkiest. You saying he was even funkier than George?
I think, you know what, I'm gonna say yeah to that. And the only reason I say yeah to that, K Money, is because Sly could really sing.
Yeah, gotcha.
George Clinton never really did no singing.
He was an entertainer,
He
though.
entertained you
Facts.
funkified.
Right.
He did
Yeah.
that.
Now there is a difference.
You know, but Sly, and he could play
And he could play,
instruments.
yeah.
So he added so much funk to the funk era. And I think that's why this documentary is very important, because a lot of the music that we listen to now, a lot of the songs that we create now, or that we recreate now, are actually songs from that time. You know, you're going to use a riff from the 70s. You're going to use a name of a song from the 70s or something. But Sly had it, man. It's a lot of songs that he did if you just listen to him. And what I do when I listen to this old music, I take it in depth of listening to the actual instruments they use and the instruments that they blend in, and actually the frequencies that they even putting them in. That gives it a whole different sound when it comes to the mixing formation of music, you know. But
that's kind of me too, Slash. When I'm listening to music in general, not even just old songs, but
Right.
I hear the music first, you know, and then afterwards I focus on the lyrics.
on what they saying.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, if you listen good enough, the shit start meshing. And that's when you know, okay, damn, this is a good song because what he's saying making sense with what it sounds like.
And I'm listening actually for the different type of instruments that I
Right.
can actually identify.
Right.
Me being a musician myself, I just want to see, you know, how many different type of instruments I
That
can
it-
actually identify being
Exactly.
played in this music or in this song.
And I listen to what, like you say, what instruments, and like let's say if he's using a guitar, I'm listening for what effect he got on that guitar. Is he using a phaser? Is he using a flanger? And they used to use that a lot on guitars. Even the wah-wah, that's what made funk. The wah-wah on the guitar. And they put it on organs and pianos, and a lot of his stuff was done with organs. They used a lot of organs in Sly and the Family Stone. But there's a documentary that's going to be streaming on Hulu. So you might want to check that out, listeners. If you have Hulu, you might want to check it out. And I'll tell you, now, this documentary was great for me when I found this out. Was directed by Amir Questlove Thompson.
Oh,
So Questlove directed this
well
documentary.
respected
Okay.
in the game.
Another Funktified.
Yeah.
Still, till this day,
That's the drummer,
that's the
right?
drummer.
Yeah.
Questlove, he's drummer.
With the
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
I always had a pick sticking out his
Yeah,
hair.
Dave Chappelle show.
Yeah,
Yep,
he done Dave Chappelle show.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, I think that's gonna be pretty interesting, man. But they say it captures the rise, the reign, and the fade out of Sly and the Family Stone, which he was one of the most influential artists of pop music. So there's another win for us. For the guys that's our age, or for the people that's our age, this will be something that's very creative that you can kind of check out and see if it fits your lifestyle, or if you remember anything from the past that he did that you was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I remember this happening. But I would like to see it, but it does come on Hulu. So if y'all have Hulu, y'all know.
I'm looking forward to that, man.
Yeah, me too, man. Now, this is what I want to talk about. We covered this before. Here's another win. So Drake finally settles his legal action against iHeartMedia in the dispute over Not Like Us.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what he settled for, but obviously it's a win for him. Because-
he got some type of money or some type of.
Do you know what I think his settlement with them would be? Because, you know, iHeartRadio can spin his music, and he can say, okay, if I can settle with you for X amount of spins on my next project or such and such song, I need this amount of spins if you want me to drop this suit against you. Because obviously he was probably going to win it, because what he was saying was that Kendrick Lamar's team used money to boost Not Like Us.
He can do the same thing. He got more money.
That's true.
Now, I want listeners. I want everybody. What do y'all think about Drake now?
I'm going to say this.
You,
I'm going to say this. I think he's a smart businessman, bro.
I ain't got
Because listen, think about this. And I know you don't really like his character or his music. Let me say that. But think about this. If he had any idea that knowing Kendrick Lamar's team paid them, that's illegal. He can use it against them. But what'll keep me from having to give you my money for the next project is for me to pull this out on you to make you play my stuff now.
So back
Smart
up real
businessman.
quick, man. I just want to make sure I'm understanding
He
what you
could
just
make-
said, Slash. It's illegal for Kendrick's team to spend money to play his music.
play-
Yeah,
music?
so it's called what it used to be called. Yeah, payola.
Oh, when you walk in the radio station and try
it
to
was-
pay, that's illegal.
It's illegal.
It is illegal.
It's payola.
Yeah.
There's certain sites that you, or certain people you have to go through
yeah.
in order for it to be cashed out as advertisement.
Yep.
And
Yep.
when you don't do that, let's just say I bypass the middleman and K Money, you own the streaming site, and I come to you and I be like, hey man, I'll give you 50 racks, man, just keep me in for the next 2 months because you control the playlist.
Damn, I thought pretty much all artists did
No,
that.
you're not
Now-
Well,
You're not supposed to walk in there with
but
your
now,
CD.
now, here it is. I just bypassed the middleman. That's illegal.
Yeah.
But if I go to the middleman, a media company, and say, hey, I need to do advertisement with these people, now it's a record and file, and now the taxes can be charged.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying? So
Gotcha.
when you do it without that and you go directly to the people, that's payola. That's illegal.
That's illegal.
So
Okay.
if Drake went in and knew that was happening, I'm saying that he's a powerful businessman.
Okay, I have to
Okay,
agree.
and now I gotta ask: take that part out, he paid. If he went in there strictly because of the popularity of the song, then what would you think about it?
Either or, I still say it's a
You would
business
agree
move.
with him if he mad? You know how many beefs go on?
I still say
Ain't
it's a
nobody
business
sue.
move.
Well, that's just it. He didn't change the game moving forward. I think on how beefs are gonna happen and occur.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you now. You ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say about it. It's hey without the H.
I think
that's
he
what
took,
it is.
I think he took the opportunity to save and use that opportunity to the best of his ability. Now, the same charges that not charges, but the same case against UMG is still there. They haven't settled. That's Universal Music Group. That haven't settled, but the iHeartRadio probably said, okay, Drake, we'll give you X amount of spins because we don't want the business getting out. Because think about what happens to iHeartRadio once that news is true and they have to pay Drake. Think about what happens to iHeartRadio. Now you got the feds in your shit.
That's true.
So now they finna say, okay, how long you been around? You need to open up the books. We can actually shut you down now. See, that's what I'm saying. Drake pulled a power move, which makes him a strong businessman because now he can get whatever he wants from iHeartRadio, and they going to play his shit as often as he tell them to if he got something on him. So I say he's a smart businessman. No matter what his music sound like or, whether he lose a battle or not, it still makes him a smart businessman.
Okay.
I like Drake. I just don't like him to be a competitor towards nobody. I don't think he need to do that. I think he just need to stick with what
If he
he
would
do.
have stayed in that lane, I would have liked him.
Well, even still, I think he still makes him a bold businessman on
Yeah.
top of that.
He flipped the script. He did
Exactly.
what record companies been doing to artists all these
The
years,
crazy
strongholding them.
I can
He's
see if he didn't
strong-arming them.
jab back or make a response to any of his stuff, then I'll be like, okay, I get it. 'Cause he didn't respond.
Well-
if he did
well,
like J. Cole, it'd be totally different.
the
but you
difference-
tried and it didn't work out. Now you want to sue?
But Comedian 96, the difference in this is the money and not having to spend his to get what he want out these people. Because now he can listen what he set up for. Let's just say he do have a bad motherfucker talking about Kendrick Lamar. Now iHeartRadio finna spin that shit like they did. Not like
like
us.
us.
It's a business move.
Gotcha.
Matters. He probably didn't care whether he got no money from them people. He wasn't
didn't
worried
need it.
about
Yeah,
that.
he
He don't
didn't need
need the
that.
money. He just want to say, okay, if I drop something talking about this nigga, I need y'all to play this motherfucker just as hot as y'all
Yeah,
made,
paid
not
us,
like us.
not like us.
That's a business move, man. That's a really powerful move from Drake. Whether he know what he doing. No matter whether he got any fire to go against Kendrick, he did the right move. Now, whatever he's doing with Universal Music Group, that's a money situation. He wants some money from that. That's why he didn't drop that. He's not settling with them until they give him some money. Now, they probably the ones that he's saying went and spent the money. What's going to mess them up is if they don't drop it, the feds is coming in on Universal Music Group and they finna look. And that's going to fuck up all the shit. So they going to have to be the next to settle. Because what we know about payola, it happens daily, bro.
It does.
It is what it is. It's about who you know, and people and places and things. That's basically what the entertainment industry is about. And if you got an inside way to get your stuff played for X amount of dollars, you're going to go for it. People been playing the DJs in the clubs
Yeah,
forever.
that's what I'm saying. I could see that most artists doing this, if not all.
I'm still thinking about the movie with the Heart Out Here for a Pimp when the girl goes in there and sits on the man's
Now,
lap. And
let
give
me
him a-
ask you this. How do you think Drake knew that even happened?
I don't know.
Because he done it. Somebody he know done it.
Yeah.
And he know what they got going on. That's why he pulled that. That was a business move. And iHeartRadio had to settle and say, you know what, all right, because we ain't trying to fuck up our shit. we still want motherfuckers to come and pay us because they gonna do that. It's a business, bro, and you have to think business minded. What wouldn't have made sense was for him to take any money from iHeartRadio. That wouldn't have made sense because now at this point you can't come at them with nothing. Right now you can get your shit played for free because it don't say what they sell it for. I'm sure it wasn't no money.
Hey, so in Comedian 96 -1's defense, this is not a form of snitching.
Yeah, it is.
See, so that would make Drake look a certain type of way, in my opinion.
It is a form of as real as it is. Yeah, it's a form of snitching. But again, a business move for the man.
A business
Hey,
snitch.
a snitch is a
Crabs
snitch.
in the barrel.
But all is fair in love and war.
Yeah.
And I think this is how Drake's approach is when he goes at iHeartRadio and Universal Music Group. It's all fair, man. People do it on a daily basis. So, Drake settled for whatever it was. They not saying what the settlement was. Attorneys from both sides, Drake's attorneys and iHeartRadio, didn't want to comment on, the settlement or whatever happened. But my mind frame is saying that Drake probably can get as much play on iHeartRadio as he want, as if he wasn't getting it already. You feel what I'm saying? Business move, bro. Regardless, Drake, it might be a snitching type of thing, but you used it wisely to get what you needed out of it without really having to tell on anybody. He didn't tell. He just said
Big meat.
He just mentioned. He just mentioned about them taking money from Kendrick. We don't really know if that happened. You know what I'm saying? We don't really know. But whatever it is, iHeartRadio don't want that business out there. Even if it is fishy business, they don't want nobody to know about that. So they settled. Drake got what he wanted out of it. I think A$AP Rocky got what he deserved from the whole situation. And we, as music lovers, got what we needed when we look at the new Sly Stone documentary, which is going to come out on Hulu. Y'all can stream that. But look, in the meantime, I want y'all to leave comments. I want y'all to tell us what y'all think. Give us some topic ideas if you want. We don't care. Hell, we here for you. Get back at us. Peace. So that's all, y'all, for this edition of Music Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Come back tomorrow and check out True Tuesday with K Money. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, D52 Scott Podcast. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast.